Did you know the movie The Godfather doesn't actually contain the word mafia in it? That's because the producers of the film had to strike a deal with the real-life mob in order to get the film made. I guess you could say they made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Did you know that the iconic Will Smith role of Jay in Men in Black was originally offered to David Schwimmer, who played Ross in Friends? He turned it down to direct a made-for-TV movie. Luckily for us, though, the studio decided to pivot. Did you know that the iconic ending of the film Seven was originally rejected by producers, but Brad Pitt refused to appear in the film if they didn't keep it? I guess he really didn't like Gwyneth Paltrow. Did you know that during the filming of The Princess Bride, when Wesley was knocked out, the stunt went wrong, and the actor who played him, Cary Elwes, was legitimately knocked unconscious? That's actually the take that appears in the film, and unfortunately for him, wouldn't be the last time he woke up not knowing where he was. Did you know that the set of the 1975 film One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was a real mental hospital, and many of the extras were authentic mental patients? Crazy, right? Did you know that during the filming of the movie Whiplash, director Damien Chazelle was in a serious car accident and was hospitalized, but returned to filming the next day because of the short production schedule? Luckily for him, he wasn't diagnosed with whiplash. Did you know that in a scene in the movie Swingers, sirens can be heard in the background, which are state troopers arriving to shut down production, as director Jon Favreau did not have the required permits for filming? He had the same problem with a later movie, which is why there are so many sirens in the film Iron Man. Did you know, in the movie Pulp Fiction, the briefcase originally opened to reveal diamonds, but Quentin Tarantino thought that was too predictable, so he left it to the audience to decide. I think what's inside is a light bulb. Did you know that the streaking scene in the movie Old School was shot at night so that all the stores would be closed? However, there was a 24-hour gym open, and on the first take, there were plenty of people exercising by the windows who saw Will Ferrell run naked right in front of them. And the rest of the takes, no one was by the windows. Did you know that during the filming of Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams would walk through the streets of San Francisco in full makeup and costume? On one occasion, he even went into an adult store and bought an extra large you know what. I'm sure the clerk had no doubt she was on fire. Did you know about the Poltergeist curse? During and soon after production of the film Poltergeist, 4 of the main actors died, including 2 of the young daughters in the film, most famously Heather O'Rourke, who played the youngest daughter. People believe it's because the production used real dead bodies for the film instead of props, but I think it's because you only move the headstone! Did you know that in the film How to Train Your Dragon, Toothless's slight hesitation to touch Hiccup's hand was actually an animation glitch that the animators decided to keep because they thought the timing worked out perfectly? I'm sure that every time a girl has hesitated to touch me, it's also been a glitch, right? Did you know that while filming The Expendables 3, Jason Statham almost drowned when a truck's brakes failed and he plunged into the Black Sea? However, he survived because he's actually an Olympic-class diver. This also explains how filmmakers were able to use a real giant shark in the Meg. Did you know that while filming Batman Begins, a drunk driver crashed into the Batmobile because he thought it was an alien spacecraft? Christian Bale said that he got so panicked when he saw the car, he thought aliens were landing. But it turns out he was landing. Himself in jail, boom! Did you know that during the filming of The Sound of Music, the city of Salzburg refused to allow the production to hang Nazi flags off their buildings while filming? So, director Richard Wise threatened to use actual newsreel footage of the city enthusiastically welcoming them in, and they relented. This would serve as an important reminder to think about your past before you talk about the present. Did you know that while filming The Force Awakens, Oscar Isaac requested that his character, Poe Dameron, be from the planet Yavin 4? This is because in the original trilogy, the scenes on Yavin 4 were all filmed in Isaac's home country of Guatemala, which is interesting because I thought those scenes were all filmed in Yavin 4. Did you know, in the film 1917, 3 soldiers can be seen running in front of the rest of the army without carrying any guns. These are in fact not background actors, but actually part of the camera crew who had to make it from the trenches to the other side of the battlefield to help complete the shot. They dressed them as soldiers to make them blend in, and incidentally, dressing as soldiers to blend in, isn't that the plot of Mulan? Did you know that for the movie Elf, Macy's refused to allow the production team to film inside their stores or use their name because they objected to the idea of their Santa Claus being fake? So instead, those scenes were shot in a cafeteria in a mental hospital in Vancouver. It's like I always say, nothing says Christmas like a Canadian mental hospital cafeteria. Did you know, in Die Hard with a Vengeance, Simon Gruber's plan to break into the Federal Reserve and steal gold was so convincing and realistic that the FBI took in the screenwriter for questioning and then modified their security measures as a result? However, the same cannot be said for Ocean's 11. Did you know that James Marsters accepted the role of Zamasu in the Dragon Ball Super anime without pay to seek redemption from Dragon Ball fans for appearing as Piccolo in the absolutely terrible Dragon Ball Evolution? So what I'm going to need is a bunch of free movies from everyone involved with Avatar the movie.